Hello everybody, welcome to a No Man's Sky blog. Now as you can see, I've got the game up in the background in my base, which is just being built. I'm uploading the video for that now. It's only a basic base at the moment, but it'll develop, it'll get better. Anyway, it's been a long time since I played No Man's Sky all the way through without just stopping and starting and things. I'm planning on doing a full playthrough this time, but it's the new features I'm exploring now because there's been a hell of a lot of new features coming out in the game that weren't there in the first playthrough. The planets are a lot better for starters. They're much richer, more variety, more stuff going on. There's pirate attacks, combat missions, all those kind of things. And I'm quite enjoying that. In fact, I hired some freighters for my new frigate yesterday. And when I went to take on the pirates, their fighters joined me in the battle, which was kind of cool to see. I kind of enjoyed that. It never used to happen. Also, I upgraded my frigate to a much bigger one. So I'm now going to get, to see what that can do. I'm not sure what the difference is between frigates at the moment, other than maybe the stats. But the one I've got at the moment doesn't seem to have a lot more storage space than the other one did. But it just seems to be slightly better in a few different areas. So we'll have to see how that goes. But anyhow, I explored a freighter as well. I mean, for a while, I was finding them in space and not knowing what to do with them. And then I found the landing pad on one of them and I landed on it and started going in. And there's aliens in there, there's computers, manifests to search for. I mean, this is all features that didn't exist when I last played through, and it's quite interesting. It adds a whole new layer of depth to the game that didn't exist before. The planets, the stuff you found on the planets are still more or less, what you'd expect, settlements and stuff and ruins and whatnot. I found an awful lot of, upgrades now for my suit, so I'm getting the suit upgraded quite quickly. It's costing me a bit, but I'm doing it. There's the base parts and that lot now. You can buy them from the anomaly. Most of the little bits you need to get started, but you still need your base computer to get some of the issues, some of the bits that come through. So there's an awful lot of ways of getting blueprints now. And then you've got settlements. Settlements just seem to be a way of making money. You build one up and they make money for themselves and start generating. I don't know what happens when they go in profit because I haven't kept one under my control for long enough to find out. But settlements is a nice function as well. You build a base next to a settlement. It's like you got your own buildings attached to the settlement. But overall, though, it's come an awfully long way. It's a very different game from the one that released in 2016 and the one they said had improved in 2018 or 2019. And it says this is a kind of procedural generated world you actually wanted to see. And I'm finding myself doing jumps to try and find that perfect world. Although some things, they've standardised, like when you come to upgrade your suits, it tends to be the same things, needed on these drop pod sites. In every site, there's quite a lot of standardisation gone on, which, I understand, I suppose, it makes sense. I did like the idea of feeding creatures in order to befriend them and make them so they could become pets and even rideable. I mean, that was quite cool. I enjoyed that for first. It's a good way of exploring the world, in fact. You get a really fast creature, but they're really hard to control. Fighters and stuff, the different classes of fighters and the ranges and stuff. I mean, when I first played through, I felt like I was just building a hyperdrive, then I had to build another hyperdrive to go to a different system, and another hyperdrive to go to another system, and another hyperdrive to go to another system. And it just felt like it was a very repetitive, grindy game. It still feels a bit like that. It hasn't really changed much. But overall, though, is the things you can do in it now. I'm just finding myself spending hours and hours and hours just winding away the time doing little jobs. And that's even without doing the things. And then you've got the missions as well, the guild missions. The missions that they give you in order to increase the guild missions, they're the ones what you use really to get the freighter salvage. Once you get to a certain level, you can start doing the freighter salvage missions, and then you can start upgrading your freighters. So I've been doing that. I mean, I did find one lot of freighter salvage on a downed freighter, but it's very rare. You don't see that very often. The anomaly as well, that's another thing that's changed a lot. When I first started, the anomaly was a very basic. You just went through to a single room where one of the travellers was there, you know, and you just talked to him and he told you what to do next and unlock certain things. Now it's where players go to meet up, even in single player. They can join in each other's games from there and a bunch of other things, and that's all new. It didn't exist when I first started playing the game, and now it's there. It's a great idea. I love it. I mean, the idea of being able to go to the anomaly and meet your friends. You know, I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, even for a single player game, it's good to be mixed with players sometimes. Although I don't do much mixing because I haven't really got the time to mess about like that. So, but yeah, I think it's setting a standard now. People compare the original No Man's Sky, you know, to games, and they're really doing it an injustice now. Things have moved on quite a lot in No Man's Sky. It's a very different game, and I think it's definitely improved and moved in the right direction. Right now, I'm on a world with a really high rain temperature. So every time it rains, everything boils, and it makes being outside, you know, difficult when it rains. And it's always stormy. So you know, you might even see the lightning in the background in a couple of times during this video, if you get what I mean. So yeah, but I have been finding as well that the AMD drivers, the ones I've been testing, the current generation 2210.2, they're crashing out as I'm leaving the atmosphere. You know that point where it starts loading in space and it's unloading the planet that you've just come from? That point, that's when it crashes right there, more than once. I haven't had the issue on 2251, so it's definitely an AMD issue. But anyway, I'm enjoying the game. You'll see a few more playthroughs uploaded. I'm glad there's more people watching them now. It's good to see the increase in views on it and everything else. I am a huge sci-fi fan. I always have been. I like sci-fi more than fantasy. So this game, Starfield, that kind of thing, it's always been my bread and butter. I played Elite Frontier for ages, Wing Commander, Freelancer, and a lot of others. A lot of others. I still think there is room for a space combat sim. I think still, you know. I miss the old one, you know. There's the one, the Freelancer and oh, I can't remember. Free Space. That was the one. I like Free Space. Free Space was good. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll chat to you in the future. But yeah, I'm enjoying 4.0. I don't know where people get the complaints from, to be honest. I think it's a question of had it's easy for too long, and they're looking for exploits in order to progress. Well, I'm not that kind of guy. I like to just work my way up so I get a sense of achievement when I get there. And I do that in life as well. You know, I don't look for the shortcuts. So, anyway, that's probably why I've managed to make the mods I've made when other people struggled, because there's no shortcuts when it comes to hard work. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for supporting the channel. I do appreciate it. We're doing quite well now. Things are starting to move in the right direction, and I can start feeling my dreams slowly coming true. See you in the next one.